السلام عليك يا
So I will use the keyboard and I'll advance it, okay? I'll advance it. Or I can tell you when to advance if you're sitting here. I'll tell you when to advance, okay?
يشم عنك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت نعم إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا جدا يا رسول الله تأذنوني أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء. فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء فما كانت ساعة وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال السلام عليك يا الله. فقلت عليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي يا أماه إني يشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت نعم إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء أدنى الحسين نحو الكساء. وقال السلام عليك يا جدا السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله أتأذنوني أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. فقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافي أمتي قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. وقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن عمي رسول الله. وقلت نعم ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله أتأذنوني أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. قال له عليك السلام يا أخي ويا وسي وخليفتي وصاحب لواي قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله أتأذنوني أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء. قال وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بدعتي قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاستي وحامتي لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سالمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم محبا لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم. واجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم وأذهب عنهم رجسا وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل يا ملائكتي ويا سكان السماوات إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مضحيا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلك يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل يا ربي ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعجن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل يا ربي يتأذنوني أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك. فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله. العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنيا ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحر يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذنوني يا رسول الله؟ وقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء فقال لأبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم رجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله خبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله؟ فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واستفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي ندعو الله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واستفاني بالرسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إنا وفرج الله هما ولا مغموم إنا وكشف الله غما ولا طالب حاجة إلا وخذ الله حاجته. فقال علي ندعو الله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة.
جزاك الله बेटा सुभान अल्लाह.
लहू लहू है मुसल्ला लहू लहू है जबीन लहू लहू है मुसल्ला लहू लहू है जबीन ऐ जुल्म देख जरा ऐ जुल्म देख जरा कहीं अली तो नहीं लहू लहू है मुसल्ला लहू लहू है जबीन ये वार किस पे हुआ है लरज़ गया کعبہ لبے حیات پہ ٹھہری ہوئی ہے کن کی صدا فلک ہے نوحہ کنا فلک ہے نوحہ کنا تو ماتمی ہے زمین لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین لرز رہی ہے نمازیں تڑپ رہی ہے اذان علی کے خون سے تر ہو گیا خدا کا مکان ہے سوگوار علی ہے سوگوار علی تمام عرش مکین لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین پدر جہان سے حسنین کا گزرتا ہے تمام کوفہ ہی لیکن یتیم لگتا ہے یتیم آج ہوا یتیم آج ہوا خدا رسول کا دین لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین یہ بہن کرتی ہے زینب نہ جائیے بابا لپٹ کے غازی سے کلثوم نے کیا گریا تڑپ رہے ہیں حسن تڑپ رہے ہیں حسن کہیں حسین کہیں لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین کیا ہے ظلم یہ کیسا دل پیمبر پر ہوا ہے حالت روزہ میں وار ہے در پر بقی سے کوفے چلی بقی سے کوفے چلی ہے فاطمہ بھی حزین لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین غلام غر کہیں سلمان ہو عطا رتبہ یہی مسلح و ماتم میں کر رہا ہوں دعا کفن ہو فرش عزا کفن ہو فرش عزا لحد نجف کی زمین لہو لہو ہے مسلح لہو لہو ہے جبین
بارے دے گا سنو
سلسلہ امامت کا تائیدار مولا کائنات آج اس دنیا فانی سے ہمیشہ کے لیے کچھ کرنے والے ہیں. ہو گئی آہ بے قدر زینب، ہو گئی آہ بے قدر زینب، کم ہے اب روئے جس قدر زینب. چل اشعار ایک صلوات محمد علیہ. آج کے دن کے حوالے سے مشن عباس کا ایک لمحہ جو مشن نے پڑھا ہوں میں آج سعادت حاصل کرتا ہوں چند اشعار کی. ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. ہم سے بچھڑا ہے مولا ہمارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. خاک بے وارسی ہے سروں پر، کالے پرچم لگے ہیں گھروں پر. خاک بے وارسی ہے سروں پر، کالے پرچم لگے ہیں گھروں پر. ہم سے بچھڑا ہے مولا ہمارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. ہم سے بچھڑا ہے مولا ہمارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. شب یہ 19ویں کیسی آئی، خون میں ڈوبا محمد کا بھائی. شب یہ 19ویں کیسی آئی، خون میں ڈوبا محمد کا بھائی. رو رہا ہے سحر کا ستارہ، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا، روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہیں. ابن ملجم ستم کیسا ڈھایا، قبر میں سیدہ کو رلایا ابن ملجم ستم کیسا ڈھایا قبر میں سیدہ کو رلایا کیسے بچوں کا ہوگا گزارا روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہے ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن تیغ سر پہ علی کے لگی ہے آج شمع امامت بجھی ہے تیغ سر پہ علی کے لگی ہے آج شمع امامت بجھی ہے دل یتیموں کا ہے پارا پارا روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہے ابن ملجم نے حیدر کو مارا روزہ دارو قیامت کے دن ہے صلوات
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I would like to start off by sending my condolences to you all on the shahadat of our first Imam, Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. I would just like to take a moment to acknowledge the sponsors for tonight's Majlis. We have the families of Dr. Ali Raza Musfi and Mrs. Zahra Musfi, as well as the family of Marhum Zahir Naqvi. Let's take a moment to recite Surah Fatiha for their Marhumeen as well as ours, especially Marhum Zahir Naqvi, who is always with us at our center. Fatiha.
Presentation लगाना है लगा लिया कहाँ है देखो वो लिख क्या
Salawat. Just a few announcements about the upcoming programs. Inshallah, tomorrow's Majlis will stay on the same schedule as today's Majlis, but we will also have the Amal after tomorrow's Majlis. And Monday's Majlis, inshallah, the day of the Shahadat will be before Salatul Maghrib and at 6:30 p.m. So please be sure to join us for that as well. Inshallah, on Tuesday night, we will have the all-night Amal for Laylatul Qadr. So please be sure to join us for that as well. And just one more request that we have from Imam Zamana Foundation Management. First and foremost, we're very thankful to all our sponsors who have generously and selflessly helped us throughout the month of Ramadan, sponsoring iftars for everyone to eat, mashallah, as well as keeping our center nice and tidy. Inshallah, we request that all sponsors keep this going forward. We request all sponsors to please join us a bit earlier just to help set up, and also stay till the end to help clean up and make sure the center is tidy. Inshallah, this is a public space and it's what we make of it, so we hope that you all stay. and help us out with that, inshallah. Just before Maulana's speech, we have Sister Kulsum Musfi here to give a short presentation on Imam Ali. Let's welcome her with a salawat.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kulsum. Imam Ali first in many fields. Imam Ali was the only one who was born in Kaaba. Imam Ali was the first one to give salah after Prophet Muhammad. Imam Ali was the first man to combine the Quran. Imam Ali was married to Sayyidah Bibi Fatima, who was the daughter of Prophet Muhammad. Imam Ali was appointed by Prophet Muhammad to be his successor. Imam Ali was the only one who shared burial with Prophet Muhammad. When you are in trouble, call Imam Ali. Nadir Aliyan Ajidaha Wayib Amrim Ya Muhammad Rasulullah Wilayatika
Ya Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, mashallah.
Adri
Thank you, Sister Kulsum Musfi, mashallah, jazakallah, for that beautiful presentation on Imam Ali. Good job. Inshallah, now I would like to welcome Maulana with your loudest of salawat. And inshallah, if everyone could please move forward as well, we have some mu'mineen waiting outside, and he'll also help Maulana with his lecture. But Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Please recite Surah Al-Fatiha with 3 times Surah Ikhlas for Marhumeen Ali Muhammad Musavi ibn Mir Ismail Ali, Abidul Nisa Begum bint Ali Raza, Mir Ali Abbas ibn Mir Mubarak Ali, Agha Sayyid Ahmad Shah ibn Agha Hayat Shah, Sayyida Fahmida Agha bint Sayyid Azizuddin, Javed Khushhal Khan ibn Khushhal Khan ibn Hussein Khan, Marhum Zair Naqavi, and all of your Marhumeen Shuhada Sulaha Mujtahidin Rahimallah man qara al-Fatiha ma'a salawat. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. ما شاء الله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله مالك الملك مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فالق الإصباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ ولدا ولم يكن له شريك في الملك ولم يكن له ولي من الذل وكبره تكبيرا. ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على النبي الأمي المكي المدني سيدنا ومولانا ومولى الثقلين بالقاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين الغر الميامين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. ولعنة الدائمة على أعدائهم من حين عداوتهم إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. آمنا بالله وصدق الله العلي العظيم. Respected elders, my dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First and foremost, I would like to offer my condolences to all of you. And then our collective condolences are presented to Imam of our time on this sad occasion of the martyrdom anniversary of Imam al-Muttaqeen, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Asadullah al-Ghalib, Ya Asubuddin, Ali ibn Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep His mercy away from the perpetrators of the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen, as based upon the words of the Prophet of Islam, the one who is known as Ashqal awwalina wal akhirin. So as we have Tawalla as the important tenets of our practices, Tabarra is same thing. So these days and nights also remind us, and as we have the recommendation to stay away through our verbal and our physical and practical actions away from the people who were participating in the assassination of Amir al-Mu'mineen, as it is said during these nights, this phrase to be recited as often as it can be, Allahumma la'an qatalata Amir al-Mu'mineen. Allahumma la'an qatalata Amir al-Mu'mineen. So as we are uttering this phrase verbally, it has to become embodiment of our action as well. That Ya Ali, that during these days and nights when we are remembering you and we are asking our Creator to keep His mercy away from the perpetrators of the martyrdom and the assassination of Amir al-Mu'mineen, we are away from them. In our actions, we do not share those values. We share the values of our Imam Amir al-Muttaqeen.
for the acceptance of our du'as, a'mal, fasting of today and the previous fast, and for the forgiveness of our sins, for the elevation of the souls of our marhumeen, and for the hastening and reappearance of Imam of our time. Please recite a salawat. Brothers and sisters, embarking upon the journey of these 4 nights series of lectures speaking about some of the words of our master. Last night I started with the discussion about the relationship of that book which is known as Kitab-e-Hidayat, the book of guidance, regarding which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. That verily there is no doubt in this book which Allah has revealed for the guidance, but it is the guidance for human beings. Yes, it is. For Muslims, yes, it could be. But what is Quran saying? هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This book is a perfect guide for the people who are muttaqeen. So it is imperative for us to know that if we really want to seek a high heed and guidance from this book, we have to be a muttaqi. And we are fortunate that we are connected to the one who is Imamul Muttaqeen. Imamul Muttaqeen is the one who leads us not only to the right path, but he's the one who presents the reality of Quran for us as the words of Imam. He himself says, Al-Quran باطنه أنيق باطنه عميق وظاهره أنيق. This is the saying of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wasalamu alayhi. That when you look at the appearance of Quran, you would see it is Aniq. It is sophisticated, it is illuminated, it is wonderful. But if you were to look at the meaning of Quran, وَبَاطِنُهُ, the intrinsic meaning, the actual meaning of Quran, they are amiq, they are deeper than what we assume to be. And no one can understand except who is the embodiment of Quran. Therefore, during these days and nights, we need to strengthen our relationship with our Master Amir al-Mu'mineen, and at the same time with this book, which goes hand in hand with Amir al-Mu'mineen. So tonight, inshallah, the topic of our discussion would be one of the dimensions from the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And when we speak about the characteristics of Amir al-Mu'mineen, when you want to explain the characteristics of someone, you need to know about that person, or you need to learn it from someone who knows about that. Otherwise, if I'm not to that level to understand that person or a personality, for instance, if I myself am a student of, for instance, high school or undergrad, I cannot assume or I cannot comprehend the educational level or the depth of the knowledge of someone who's at the level of postdoc, for instance. So I need to have someone who has a higher capability. And just by the way, that applies to everything as well. For instance, nowadays we see a lot, especially when this moon sighting issue comes up. Many of us, we say that, our mujtahideen, they don't know how to give fatwa and we know better than them. So we need to know that who has given a lifetime of dedication to study about Islam. Not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. No, tens of knowledges. They have a grasp and mastery on that, and they know what to do with the fatwas and what the rulings of Islam. So in other words, someone needs to be expert to give an opinion about someone who is at the same level or a higher expertise level. But when we speak about the merits of Amir al-Mu'mineen, we see the hadith of someone who is known as As-Sadiq and Al-Amin, who is someone who is known as in Quran, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ, in huwa illa wahyun yuha, that this prophet does not speak any word, does not utter a single word except it is inspired and aspired from the wahy of Quran. وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. He does not speak out of his own self. Whatever he speaks, it is the manifestation of wahy yuha. So when we look at the words of the Prophet of Islam, he would address to the Prophet. He would say, Ya Ali, ما يعرف الله أحدا إلا أنت وأنا. The haqiqi ma'arifah, the perfect understanding of that ahadiyat. And ahadiyat, when we speak about that ahadiyat, that is a status of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's nur, where none of the human beings they have access to. But these two personalities, the Prophet says that among the human being, the status or the comprehension and ma'arifat we have for Allah, no other one has. Then he continues, وَمَا يَعْرِفُنِي إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَأَنْتَ يَا عَلِيمٌ. And no one has recognized myself except Allah and you, Ya Ali. And then he says, وَمَا يَعْرِفُكَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَأَنَا. And Ya Ali, know that no one will be able to comprehend your fadail and your merits except Allah and myself. This is Amirul Mu'mineen. His fadail cannot be comprehended, cannot be understood by ordinary people. So whatever we are trying to do, it is just a droplet in comparison to the endless ocean of the fadail of Amirul Mu'mineen. Whatever we are trying to do that, we cannot make a justice and we cannot do the actual haqq to Amirul Mu'mineen's fadail. So many dimensions of Amirul Mu'mineen's life. Tonight I just wanted to contemplate on one of the unique characteristics of Amirul Mu'mineen. And throughout the humanity, it's not just Islam or Tashayyu or Fiqh Ahlul Bayt. When you look at the humanistic value, there are some universal values, starting from, for instance, pre-Islamic era, or even before that. Just speak about for instance, Plato. You speak about those philosophers who existed 2,500 years ago, when the human race is speaking about the civilization and the concept of good in the society, the concept of utopia, for instance, when Plato speaks about that, or Socrates speaks about the values in the society. So that Greek philosophy would speak about some of the virtues of the society. How a society can be a prosperous society, how a society can be looked as the perfect society or idealistic society or utopia. It's not the pouring of the wealth, that how many people who are having, for instance, billions and trillions. And in fact, in this day and age, we have seen that disbalance when people are having trillions and the wealth of the entire universe is in the hands of handful people, for instance. Now we see the disbalance in the society. So when they would speak about the best composition of the society, and you would relate them with the words of Amirul Mu'mineen, you will see he would say, Al-mulku yabqa ma'al kufr wa la yabqa ma'al dhulm. It is possible for a state to prosper or to exist with kufr, but they wouldn't be in existence with dhulm. So dhulm is one of the things which are against the human values. And opposition of dhulm is al-adl, the justice. When we speak about Imam Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, Amirul Mu'mineen's words so powerful. And unfortunately, we are away and we are on distance from those words. In the very recent contemporary words, someone known as George Jordan, the Christian philosopher in Lebanon, he says that when I first time looked at Nahjul Balagha, I could not leave that book on my shelf or on my table. I started reading it. Guess how many times he read that book? Harry Potter, how many times? 7 times? 6 times? After watching the movie, maybe 2-3 times more? He said, not tens, 200 times. I have read Nahjul Balagha. A Christian philosopher is saying of this contemporary world that the beauty of the words of Imam Ali, it's so immense, it's so profound. And then when he is recapitulating the words of Amir al-Mu'mineen, as he is mesmerized with the teachings of Imam Ali, he names the book with this title, As-Sawt al-Adalatul Insaniya, the voice of human justice. Insani Adalat ki Awaaz. So the book is translated in many languages, let alone we read Nahjul Balagha. We don't know even about this book, that how mesmerizing these words of Amir al-Mu'mineen. The question, there are many sermons, there are many sayings, there are many short sayings, and there are many letters. But then why he is choosing the character of Amir al-Mu'mineen as saying that he is the soul, he is the voice of human justice? Because again, throughout the entire history, the concept of justice, where Quran says even the prophets have come to establish the justice in the society. The equilibrium of the society has to be established through the divine justice. And Amir al-Mu'mineen, he says, it's amazing when this statement you will ponder upon, and these days we are contemplating on the traits of Amir al-Mu'mineen. This statement is huge, that it was, he says, قُتِلَ عَلِي فِي الْمِحْرَابِ لِشِدَّةِ عَدْلِهِ, that it was Ali's extreme justice which people could not handle, and Amir al-Mu'mineen was martyred. Maybe it's a very profound understanding, it's a very profound statement to understand. Let me give you an anecdote from the life of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. So our youth can relate. There is someone whose title is Najashi. It's not the King Negus, it's not the Abyssinian king, all of you know about him, but it is someone in the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, and he's a learned person, he's a poet, he loves Amir al-Mu'mineen, he recites the poetry about Imam Ali. One day he had a pagan friend, or non-practicing so-called, and the friend would say, "Oh, you are fasting? I know how to make a meal. I would put the entire lamb in a." So these are my words, because after iftar it's okay to do some biryani and some korma as well. Our fasting wouldn't be getting affected, inshallah. So he says that I will cook you a meal, and throughout the night it will stay on fire and a slow heat, and on the day it will become such a wonderful meal that you will put the morsel of bite on your tongue and you will enjoy. Oh, don't give me temptation, I am fasting, man. Yes, I know, but it's okay. Friend of Amir al-Mu'mineen, so-called friend or a friend, so he is having a temptation. And then he says that after that, I will offer you a drink which will refresh you. Long story short, he fell in the prey of those temptations, broke his fast, enjoyed that meal, and enjoyed that drink which a Shia of Amir al-Mu'mineen has to stay away miles and miles from that drink, which is alcohol, which is not permissible. A mu'min, a Shia, a believer wouldn't, let alone touch, wouldn't go closer to that. Party's going on, and the party becomes so noisy, and the neighbors, they got alerted, and the report comes to Amir al-Mu'mineen. Call Najashi right away. He says, मौला अली है ना, कोई बात नहीं, अपने ही हैं, अब तो शेर कहते ही रहते हैं, मौला अली ने क्या जाके माफी मांग लेंगे. So we'll ask some forgiveness, and he will. Maulana Kainat, oh, did you have alcohol? And did you have that kind of had? Yes, Ya Ali, I'm sorry. Maulana Kainat says that I have to deal with the Islamic rulings and you will receive those 80 lashes which Islam has prescribed for someone who has drunken the alcohol. So, and since you did that during the month of Ramadan and you have violated the sanctity of Ramadan, there will be additional 20 lashes. He did receive that. So the cliffhanger is not here. He received that. And now he had something in his heart. And he left the city because he said, I could not live in that city anymore. He goes where? He goes to Sham. As soon as Muawiyah learns that someone who was punished by Imam Ali is coming, he throws another party. He sends some people outside. Now this friend of Ali would come and curse him. Let's have him. So as soon as he enters, Najashi enters, and the people of Muawiyah, they go and receive him open-handed. And then Muawiyah's guys are telling him, now tell us about Ali and you know how he has dealt with you, and come with us and join the party with us. He said, I have not run away from Ali's zulm. I have run away from Ali's justice. I am not complaining that he has done oppression to me. I have done oppression to me and I could not handle the justice of Ali ibn Abi Talib. These are the lover of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You know, there are endless stories. Even after the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Muawiyah goes for Hajj, and you know that there is a woman who's called Darimiyah, lover of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And he learns that she's still alive. He goes there and asks to summon upon Darimiyah. When Darimiyah comes, and he says that I have heard you praise Ali ibn Abi Talib, you love Ali ibn Abi Talib. And she says, yes. So these are the lovers of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So in front of Muawiyah, she had no fear of anything. And then he says, okay, describe Ali for me and tell me, why do you love Ali and why do you hate me? And she says, because Ali is the one who has established the justice in the society, who have restored the values of Islam to its origin, who is the someone who has given the right of people to them. And you are the one who steal from people. You are the one who oppress the people. Ali's remembrance keeps my heart alive. It is the remedy of my soul. Whenever the name of Ali is mentioned, I become alive. And you cannot compare yourself with Ali. He says, O Darmiyam, I know you love Ali a lot. It's okay. It's okay. You will never love me, but it's okay. Let me ask you, do you have any desire? Do you need anything which I can help you with? Bribes. So when you cannot threaten anyone, now the best way is money. Yeah. So, okay, how much do you need? And she's lover of Imam Ali. She's not asking for a little thing. I need 100 camel with red hairs. Oh man. Camel is a Mercedes-Benz of that time. And red hairs you are asking for what, Maserati or Lamborghini? Rolls Royce. No, not that much. Maybe, yeah, so maybe a Lamborghini, a limited edition one, at least $500,000, let's say. I need 100 camel. He sees that maybe if I bribe her, then she would turn to my side. Okay, Darmiya, I will give you 100 camels. And she says that I need some folks as well who can take care of all those cattle and the camels. Okay, I will give that as well. Now do you tell me, what do you say about me? What do you say about Ali? He said, no, my statement is same. Gets outrageous and says, Darmiya, do you know, if you would ask Ali, he wouldn't give you all these camels which I have given you. I'm not a kind person. She says, I know. If I would have asked Ali to give me 100 camels of red hair, let alone 100 camels, he will not give me one hair of a camel because he is a just Imam. He would not spend out of his desire from Baitul Mal, and that's why I love Ali. This is justice of Ali. Loving Ali, it really needs some insight. The values of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Sends the letter to who? To Malik Ashtar, my governor. Kofi Annan, few years ago, when he was the Secretary General, all of you know that he distributed that document which has to be written with the golden water. Malik, now you are going to rule the people. Remember, the criteria of ruling people is justice. And no, people are of two kinds. Imma akhullaka fid deen. Either they are brethren in your faith, they are your community member. They are not Sayyid, Sheikh, Khwaja, Mirza, but whatever. No, all of them are equal. They are your brethren in faith. There are only two criteria Amirul Mu'mineen is prescribing, that either they share your faith or nadhirun laka fil khalq, or they are your partners in your humanity. Either they are your brethren in faith or they are just like human being like you. So no, they deserved to be treated as you want to be treated. Do not deal with them as you don't want to be dealt with or treated. Justice of Imam. Tonight, in this very brief presentation, in this very brief remaining minutes of this Majlis, I want to remind all of us that we remember Maulana Kainat throughout the day and throughout the night, and we have to. As lovers of Imam Ali says that he is our life. When we remember him, we get alive, and he is the source of inspiration for us. But some of those value and the justice of Maulana Kainat is at top of that has to be practiced in our life. You know, there is an Islamic criteria of justice mentioned in Islam. And when you speak about the characteristics of Amirul Mu'mineen, right from the beginning, I wanted to go in a chronological order in my speech, and inshallah tomorrow I will mention that when we speak about the different phases of Amirul Mu'mineen's life, it has a certain distribution, for instance, from his birth all the way to the announcement of the prophethood. Then from the prophethood's announcement all the way until the migration. Then from migration until the death of the prophet. The fourth one, from the death of the prophet all the way until he was given the caliphate. And then the last or the fifth phase is from his caliphate, and that 4.5 years. Each one of this phase needs to be described and needs to be studied well. Itself 25 years when he is not given his right. He was mistreated. Natural Balagha is full of those complaints and realities which Amirul Mu'mineen speaks about. That I deserve that position to lead the Ummah, and it's not my desire. I wanted to take them. I wanted to excel the Ummah towards that divine status and the elevation for which Prophet has come. But I was put on the back seat of the camel. And he had a lot of patience for that 25 years. It needs to be contemplated in depth, and it needs to be written countless books on that. How did Imam Amirul Mu'mineen live that life? So let's speak a little bit about those 4.5 years when Amirul Mu'mineen is appointed or given, quote unquote, that caliphate of this world, regarding which at one place, Amirul Mu'mineen, the area is called Viqar of Iraq, repairing his shoes, coming from Jamal. And Abu Dhar comes, and Ibn Abbas, speaks to Imam Ali, inquires about few things that Maulana, now finally the Khilafat is given to you. While repairing his shoes, he looks at him. Do you see my shoes? Yes, Ya Ali. What's the value of this shoes? Maulana, are you kidding? It's repaired so many times. What's the value of that? Imam Ali says, this world and this Khilafat has less value than this repaired shoe in my eyes. You are talking to Ali ibn Abi Talib and speaking about the position of this world. Anyways, that position is given to him. Now expectation, Muslims have seen that during the time of third caliphate, you know, the Baitul Mal, how it is distributed the first day. Okay, we are going to establish a new way. Whoever is closer to me would get this share. Whoever has fought would get this share. This one, this share. This one, nepotism. All of you know that. Ahl Sunnat, Allama Maududi's book is there, Khilafat al-Mulukiyat. Very clear that how brutally the wealth of Muslims were distributed the day he is appointed Amirul Mu'mineen. Next day he says, everybody would get the same and equal share. And when they got these 3 coins, they're saying, Ya Ali, you are disrespecting us. We are having the precedence in Islam. And Imam Amirul Mu'mineen says, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. No matter what tribe, what family, what clan you belong to, the only criteria in the eyes of Allah is taqwa. And you won't get any single penny added on your share, on your fair share. And maybe just to tell us, Aqil, the real brother, it's not sufficient. He had a big family. Amirul Mu'mineen would go and visit sometimes and would look at the faces of those nephews and children of Aqil, would shed tears for them. And Amirul Mu'mineen didn't have much. So one day he goes there, Aqil says, visit him, Ya Ali, we do not have much. I have real need of money. Imam says, whatever I can give you from Baitul Mal, which is equal share, no matter you are my real brother, that is given to you. You need to manage in that, and I cannot go beyond that. And then he insists. There was fire next. Imam picks up an iron which is burning in the fire and gets closer to the hand. It is said at the last time of the life of Aqil, his eyesight was not very good. So when he realizes it is that hot, pulls his hand. What are you doing? Are you burning my hand? And Imam says that in this world, this worldly fire, you cannot tolerate it or handle it. How would you handle, or how would I handle the fire which Allah will make for us if I have a cheating in the world? This is the justice of Amirul Mu'mineen. And you know, when the same Aqil at one point of the stage, he had accumulated a debt of 10,000, comes to Amirul Mu'mineen. He says, my back is broken. Help me. And they are at a higher status, a higher position of the house, and they were able to look at the market. Imam looks down and says that, Aqil, honestly, I do not have from my personal belonging. Yesterday I told you the words of Amirul Mu'mineen. Very clearly says that I have divorced your word for 3 times, and I cannot return back to that. All I have from this world is 2 pieces of cloth and 2 loaves of bread. Aqil, I do not have much. When I will get my share, I will give it to you. It won't help me. He must, okay, then go. The market is open. And this is the time of Amirul Mu'mineen. The divine justice is established. People wouldn't lock their shops and their registers, their cash registers. Everything would stay open. Imam says, okay, then go in the evening, the shops will be open. Go and get whatever you want to. Ya Ali, are you telling me to steal from people? You are my master. Imam Ali says, I am doing same thing which you are asking me to do. I am telling you that go and steal from people. You are asking me to steal from all the Muslims and give you the fair share. This is Ali ibn Abi Talib. He thinks about the believers. لِيَقُومَ النَّاسَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Brothers and sisters, the life of Amirul Mu'mineen, we need to look through the lens of Quran. How Quran says, because Amirul Mu'mineen is none other than someone who comes at the place of the Prophet of Islam as his successor. So he needs to establish those values. And you know, Allah has promised this. جَعَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ. It was the divine promise, the message of the messenger which came. It has to be established. And Amirul Mu'mineen was establishing that. But society did not accept. And we have faith in the one regarding which it is said, يَمْلَوُ الْأَرْضَ قِسْطًا وَعَدْلًا كَمَا مُلِئَتْ ظُلْمًا وَجَوْرًا. He will establish that. But now in this period of time, what happened to the society? It is a pity on the Muslim state, the Muslim situation overall, where Ali ibn Abi Talib is raising their status to make them realize. And you know, when we speak about nowadays, especially what's going on, what is unfolding in front of us in this very so-called bright world, modern world, people are dying with famine and thirst and hunger. And the humanity is living, so-called humanity is advancing and progressing. What's going on in Gaza? You know what happens in Safin? This is Amirul Mu'mineen, and this is Islamic justice. The army of Muawiyah, they usurped the water. At one point, they got the control of the water and they cut the water off. Water is only for the government of the army of Sham. And Amirul Mu'mineen's army is deprived. Amirul Mu'mineen says to his soldiers, go and get that. They go, they get it. They are Amirul Mu'mineen's soldier. They get it. And now the army of Muawiyah running towards Muawiyah by saying, Muawiyah, our Amir, what happened? So we were holding the water from Ali, and now they are taking the control back to them. We will die thirsty. And Muawiyah is smiling. Don't worry. It is Ali. I know as soon as he gets water, we will be the first people who will get share of the water. And you see Hussein in Karbala as well. Hor comes. We will have water later. We'll offer it to him. So what we see, brothers and sisters, these are the humanistic value. And what we see in the society, in this modern society, where millions of people, they are waiting for aid to come and to be drowned in the water. Not a piece of a bread or a morsel of a food or the water. And we all see that, and we all say that we are the lovers of Imam. I know that we cannot do much, but the only thing, the strengthening the relationship of Amirul Mu'mineen says that I should feel the pain of that. A child who is suffering with famine, who is going to die with this famine in few days, who are suffering with malnutrition, not only Gaza and Palestine, that is a burning issue, but at many other places as well. Being the follower of Amirul Mu'mineen, I need to feel the pain of that. I need to be aware. I need to do whatever I can do at my level best to be aware of that justice. You know, Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, being the successor of the Prophet, he had to establish those values throughout his time, because he is the one who has proven this reality. If anyone can be worthy of becoming a caliph or the representative of the Prophet after the Prophet, is Ali ibn Abi Talib. And from the very first age, right from the birth, as I have said, if you distribute the portions of the life of Amirul Mu'mineen in few portions, one of the portion is when there is a time where the Prophet of Islam, when there is a collective decision by the infidels that this night we will get rid of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The plan is made, and all the tribes, they send their soldiers with what? With swords out of the scabbards. This is the night the Prophet has to be killed. The plan is there. And Allah informs the Prophet and asks him, now this is the time to immigrate from Mecca to Medina. But I have the trust, and I have established that system which is divine system, and they know those values, and they call me Sadiq and Amin. What I would take care, how would I deal with the trusts of the people? Appoint someone who is just like you. Assign someone who can replace or compensate or can sit after you on your place. And history says, none other than the one who was always with the Prophet, who followed the footsteps, who would say in Nahjul Balagha that I would follow the footsteps of the Prophet as a baby camel would follow the footsteps of the mother. I would stay with the Prophet. He would take me in his lap. He would chew the morsels of bread and then feed me with those morsels of bread. None other than Ali ibn Abi Talib. Ya Ali, on this night, you need to sleep on my bed so you can come afterwards by delivering the trust which I have. Any question? If you or me or anyone else, and there were, because some of the ulama, they have explained that this invitation was not only for Amirul Mu'mineen. The statement is, Ayyukum yabitu ala firashi. To some closest companions it was said. And maybe all of them, they would say, Ya Rasulullah, every night this bed is good. Jibrail comes, we can sleep on that. But tonight, sorry, excuse me, there are 50 at least uncovered swords. So at least spare us during this night. Amirul Mu'mineen asked one question. Ya Rasulallah, by sleeping on this bed tonight, would it save your life? Of course, Ya Ali. Nothing was asked after that. Amirul Mu'mineen takes the cloak of the Prophet, sleeps on the bed, which is surrounded by the uncovered swords, and they came and they realized Prophet is there. Later is what it was asked by Amirul Mu'mineen, Ya Ali, how was that night for you? Were you able to sleep? And Ali said, I never slept during the night in my life, except night of Hijrah. I slept so peacefully and calmly. I never slept on that bed. And this was so much liked by Allah. Allah sends the revelation. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ. Ali, you have exchanged the pleasures of Allah by offering your sacrifice on the night of Hijrah. Salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. You know, it is said that there was a conversation, divinely conversation took place, that Allah asked the angels, do you see what Ali is doing? He's sacrificing his life for the Prophet, for Islam. It's nothing new. The father of Abu Talib, father of Ali ibn Abi Talib, gave his life for Islam. Ali ibn Abi Talib gave his life for Islam. No question was asked. I would sleep on the bed, Ya Rasulullah. No worries. Question. There is a point to reflect upon. So when the Prophet left the bed, Amirul Mu'mineen is sleeping. Maybe the height of Amirul Mu'mineen was similar, and he was holding that Aba of the Prophet. Quraysh and Kuffar, they did not understand who is sleeping. But question is that it is said that one of the unique characteristics of the prophethood is that Allah gives a sweet fragrance to His prophets. As we know that the Prophet is always covered under the shade as well. Allah signed a shade at the cloud for the Prophet. Another thing is, a attribute or the quality of a prophet is that there is a prophetic fragrance. And people would understand in the streets of Mecca that Prophet is coming from a far distance, because they would smell that divinely fragrance. So the question is, maybe they had this doubt that it is not Ali, it is the Prophet, because they came to that bed. They removed that cloak by assuming that it is the Prophet. Question that on that night maybe they were confused because Ali was under the cloak. The height and the posture was the same. But what about that prophetic fragrance? It is said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave all those attributes to Imam Ali, including that prophetic fragrance that Kuffar wouldn't understand on that night. It is not the Prophet, it is Imam Ali. It is Imam Ali who sleeps on the bed of the Prophet. He needs to display all those value for which Prophet has come. And Quran says, لِيَقُومَ النَّاسَ بِالْقِسْطِ. They have come to establish the justice in the society. Ali, tell us something about the justice. And Ali would say, if the treasures which exist in between 7 heavens and 7 skies would be offered to me, and in exchange it is asked from me to remove a grain from the ant, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have this tiny much of an oppression to an ant. Brothers and sisters, this divinely justice has to be practiced in our life, especially nowadays. Let me conclude this offering or inviting all of us in our lives. How do we have justice? And this justice not limited to if I become a ruler. It begins with the family structure. You are a head of a family. That does not mean that you deserve everyone to listen to you without having any responsibility. You are a leader in the community. It is a very beautiful, eloquent Arabic expression which says, Ra'isul Qawmi Khadimuhum. That when you become a leader of a nation, leader of a group, you become servant to them. You need to serve. You need to be humble. This is the notion which see from Amirul Mu'mineen. Nowadays, we see our families, they are collapsing because that hierarchy, based on justice, not based on my education, on my degrees, or my wealth, or my position, or my age. No, based on that piety, that hierarchy is distorted. Amir al-Mu'mineen is teaching the pinnacle of the society is someone who is the righteous one, who is the pious one, who is the best in terms of the nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and embodiment of the practices and the values of Islam. Therefore, now what we see in our household structure, the oppression is going on. So sometimes it is, we see, maybe the word is very harsh for them, but anyone who is not fairly treated is a zalim. And when we establish the justice against the people and justice towards my soul, as Amir al-Mu'mineen says, that I have wronged, teaching us. He's ma'soom, but teaching us that be mindful if you have sinned, if you have transgressed, if you have oppressed someone, you have done justice against yourself, let alone the people of the society, and you will be held responsible for that on the day of the judgment, and then in the family and among the relatives, in the society. Amir al-Mu'mineen is passing by through the street and looks at an old man asking for money. Becomes upset. What's going on? I am appointed as a ruler, and here why this person is there? And Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Mahada, what's going on there? And they say, Ya Ali, he is a Christian old man. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, I didn't ask man hada, what is it? Don't tell me that he is Christian, he is Jew, he is Muslim. Humanistic value. Amir al-Mu'mineen's divine values of the justice. Amir al-Mu'mineen says, what's going on? Why this poor person is begging on the streets? Ya Ali, he used to work for us and he has nothing, so he comes to the market and we give something to him. Amir al-Mu'mineen gets angry. How come? When he was young, when he was youth, when he was powerful, he used to work for you. He would earn. But now he cannot earn and you have left him to beg on the streets. Give him from Baitul Mal. He deserves. We speak about this system of social security now in this modern world. Go and see Amir al-Mu'mineen. When humanity wouldn't think about the social security, he would say he has served this society. He has served everyone. He deserves to be retired and have enough money. So brothers and sisters, these values of the divine justice must be practiced through our lives and through our every aspect of our life. And as I have said, this was the justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen, which could not be handled by the people. And you know, I spoke yesterday, someone who is known as Ashqal Awwalin wal Akhirin. What was the sin of Amir al-Mu'mineen? He was, Ibn Muljam was a Khariji. Because of that justice of Amir al-Mu'mineen, that uprightness. And it is said, as you know, today was the day of Zarbat. At this moment, Amir al-Mu'mineen is in a state where there is a band-aid on the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen. And you can imagine how the state of our Imam would be. It was just last night when he was bidding farewell with everyone, and when he came to the courtyard of his house and there were geese and they were crying, Amir al-Mu'mineen advised his daughter, see how kind Imam Ali is. See, these are the birds. If after my death you can take care of them, keep them. If you cannot feed them, release them. Ali, you are departing from this world. How kind you are to think about just the pet birds at the home. It is admirable. You know, brothers and sisters, when this morning, a similar morning just like today, when there was a call in the Kufa, tahaddamat wallah arkan al-huda, the pillars of the guidance were struck. قتل ابن عم المصطفى قتل علي ibn Abi Talib. The call came across the streets of Kufa, and it is said there was a feeling of earthquake in the Kufa. Everyone heard that. And I would say that as everyone has heard these calls, I wish the daughters of Imam Ali would have not heard that call. You know how far is the house of Imam Ali from Masjid Kufa? بس گھر کی دیوار ملی ہوئی ہے مسجد کوفہ سے. خدا کرے کہ یہ آواز گھر میں نہ آئی ہو, اس آواز کو زینب و ام کلثوم نے نہ سنا ہو. But I know that call was heard by Zainab Umm Kulthum, and you can imagine what would have going through inside the household. But I have become mindful of that scene. It is not Kufa. It is after 20 years on the plains of Karbala, when Zainab heard this call coming from the sky, that Qad Qutila Hussein ibn Ali, comes and stands on Talla Zainabiyya, looks at Shimr, Ash-Shimru jalisan ala sadr al-Hussein, Shimr Hussein ke سینے پہ ہاتھ میں کند خنجر سے وار کر رہا ہے. اجرکم اللہ. ہاں عزیزو, روز ضربت تھا نا آج مولا کو جب مسجد کوفہ میں ضرب لگ گئی. It is said when Amir al-Mu'mineen's head was struck with that sword which was smeared in the poison, it is said when the sword was purchased by Ibn Muljam, he smeared the sword in the poison for 30 days. And as soon the sword was struck, Amir al-Mu'mineen said, Fuztu wa Rabbil Kaaba. And then the blood is gushing out of his forehead. And people, they came across Amir al-Mu'mineen. And some people, they went behind Ibn Muljam. And it is said later, when Imam Ali was brought to the house, Ibn Muljam was arrested, who had chains, and the ropes were tied on the hands of Imam Ali's assassinator, the killer, Ibn Muljam. Imam Ali gains the conscious, look at Ibn Muljam and sees he's shivering. Imam says, oh Hassan, don't you see Ibn Muljam is scared, he is shivering. Untie his hands. Don't you see his hands are tied with the rope? I would say, Maula, today in Kufa, آپ اپنے اس قاتل کے ہاتھ میں بھی رسیاں برداشت نہیں کر سکے. ایک دفعہ میرے ساتھ کربلا میں وہاں سے آئیے جہاں سے بیویوں کو رسیوں میں. اجرکم اللہ. ہاں عزیزو, آج زینب ام کلثوم کے گھر میں گریا ہے نا, باپ کے سر پہ پٹی بندھی ہے, باپ کو زخمی حالت میں دیکھ رہی ہے. اجرکم اللہ. ہاں حسن و حسین, زینب ام کلثومی کی یتیمی کی راتیں ہیں نا, شرما کے گریے نہ کیجئے گا. محرم رمضان کی راتیں ہیں, استجابت دعا کی راتیں ہیں. اجرکم اللہ. عزیزو, وہ مولا جو اپنے قاتل کے ہاتھوں میں بھی بند رسیاں نہیں دیکھ رہا. میرا سلام ہو سید سجاد پر جو کہتا تھا الشام الشام الشام. مولا ہاتھ جوڑ کر عرض کروں گا, مولا بابا کے گلے کو نوکے نیزہ پر دیکھا, سختی نہیں کہی. اپنے چچا عباس کے بازو قلم ہوتے دیکھے, سختی نہیں کہی. قاسم و محمد کے بدل سختی نہیں کہی. شام میں کیا ماجرا, کوئی پتہ نہیں. سید سجاد کا جواب آئے, کسی غیرت مند کے لیے ایک رسی میں پپی اور بہروں کو بندے دیکھنا قبول نہیں. وَسَيَعْلَمُ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا أَيَّ مُنْقَلَبٍ يَنْقَلِبُونَ. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Having these tears in our eyes, these are the guarantees for the acceptance of dua. Bring your hajat in your minds. Allahumma inna nas'aluka wa nad'uka wa nuqsimu alayk bismika al-azim al-azam. By Hussein, by Fatima al-Zahra, 10 times, Ya Allah, 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 Ya Allah. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Muqallib al-Qulub. Oh Allah, have your mercy upon all of us. Ya Allah, Ya Allah, by this zikr of Amir al-Mu'mineen, forgive our major and minor sins, Ya Allah. بار الہ, اس ذکر کے صدقے میں ہمارے والدین کے, ہمارے مرحومین کے گناہان کبیرہ صغیرہ معاف فرما. بار الہ, جتنے مریض یہاں پر تشریف فرما ہیں یا گھروں میں ہیں, سب مریضوں کو شفا عاجل و کامل عطا فرما. بار الہ, جتنے مومنین مومنات یہاں پر آئے ہیں, اس مجلس میں تشریف فرما ہیں, یقیناً سب کے دلوں میں حاجتیں ہیں، آرزویں ہیں. بار الہ تو دلوں کے رازوں سے خوب واقف ہے، دعاؤں کو لبوں پہ آنے سے پہلے مستجاب کرتا ہے. بار الہ سب کی حاجات کو قبول و منظور فرما. ہمارے بچے بچیوں کو دین مبین اسلام پر ثابت قدمی عطا فرما. ہم سب کو سیرت اہل بیت پر چلنے کی توفیق عطا فرما. ہمیں اس دنیا میں زیارت محمد وآل محمد اور آخرت میں شفاعت محمد وآل محمد نصیب فرما. اس دنیا میں جئیں تو حسین حسین علی علی کہتے جئیں، جب اس دنیا سے جائیں تو حسین حسین علی علی کہتے جائیں. بار الہ مظلومین جہان پر اپنی رحمتوں کا نزول فرما، ظالم اور غاصبوں کو نیست و نابود فرما. ہمارے مولا و آقا امام زمانہ کے ظہور میں تعجیل فرما. مسلمانوں کو آپس میں اتفاق اتحاد عطا فرما. ہم سب کو امام زمانہ کے آوان و انصار میں سے شمار فرما. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم آمین یا رب العالمین برحمتک یا ارحم الراحمین. ماتم علی.
قتل ہوئے سجدے میں شیر خدا، آتی ہے گردوں سے یہ فہم صدا. قتل ہوئے سجدے میں شیر خدا، کام نئے حق میں یہ غضب ہو گیا. قتل ہوئے سجدے میں شیر خدا، آتی ہے گردوں سے یہ پیغام صدا. قتل ہوئے سجدے میں شیر خدا، آتی ہے گردوں سے یہ پیغام صدا. قتل ہوئے سجدے میں شیر خدا. آج ہے فرش غم پہلے عذاب. آج ہے غم پہلے عذاب. باپ کے غم میں ناہ گئے ہو گئی بے بدر زینب ہو گئی. ہو گئی بے بدر ہو گئی بے بدر ہو گئی بے بدر ہو گئی دیکھنا ایک دن دکھائے گی دیکھنا ایک دن دکھائے گی، شام تجھ کو یہی سحر زینب ہو گئی، ہو گئی ابتدا ہے ابھی تو کوفے میں، ابتدا ہے ابھی تو کوفے میں، تجھ کو ہونا ہے در بدر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر مجمع عام ہوگا گلیوں میں، مجمع عام ہوگا گلیوں میں، اور ہوں گی پر نصر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر تیرے نالوں سے ہو رہا ہے بپا، تیرے نالوں سے ہو رہا ہے بپا، ایک کوہرام عرش پر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر 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 زینب، سیدہ گئی ہے جنت سے، سیدہ گئی ہے جنت سے، سارا ماتم پدا ہے گھر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر 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 زینب، کرتے ہیں جس طرح یتیم بسر، کرتے ہیں جس طرح یتیم بسر، اب کرو یوں بسر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر 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 زینب، روک لے اپنے آنسوؤں کو ذرا، روک لے اپنے آنسوؤں کو ذرا، اب تو رونا ہے عمر بھر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر زینب ہو گئی آپ بدر زینب ہل رہا ہے مزار روتی ہے، ہل رہا ہے مزار روتی ہے، باقی تربت پہ کول سر زینا ہو گئی یاد پدر زینا، ہو گئی یاد پدر زینا، رونقیں اٹھی رہی ہے دنیا سے، رونقیں اٹھی رہی ہے دنیا سے، جا رہا ہے تیرا پدر زینا، یا علی مولا حیدر مولا، 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 علی مولا حیدر مولا، علی مولا حیدر مولا، علی مولا حیدر مولا، علی مولا حیدر مولا.
إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. هيا علي هيا علي هيا علي هيا علي هيا علي، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، آواز کے آنسو پہنچتے ہیں، آواز کے آنسو پہنچتے ہیں، شبیر کو کچھ سمجھاتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، سر دیکھ کے زخمی بابا کا جب بیٹیاں رونے لگتی ہے، جب دیکھ کے سر زخمی بابا کا جب بیٹیاں رونے لگتی ہے، بچوں کو تسلی کی خاطر زہرا کا درد سناتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زخمی مولا کی آنکھوں میں زخمی مشکیزہ پھرتا ہے، زخمی مولا کی آنکھوں میں زخمی مشکیزہ پھرتا ہے، آواز جری کے ہاتھوں سے، آواز جری
مولا روتے جاتے ہیں، زینب کا چہرہ دیکھتے ہیں اور مولا روتے جاتے ہیں. مولا حیدر مولا علی 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 مولا حیدر مولا.
زینب پہ یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب پہ یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب پہ یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب پہ یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. بن باپ کی کہلاتی ہے بیٹی میری بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. اماں نہیں نانا نہیں اب تم بھی سدھارے، اماں نہیں نانا نہیں اب تم بھی سدھارے، کس موڑ پہ لے آئی ہمیں زندگی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. کتنے ہی یتیموں کو دیا تم نے دلاسا، کتنے ہی یتیموں کو دیا تم نے دلاسا، اب ہم کو دلاسا نہیں دیتا کوئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. اب کون ہمیں پیار سے پاس اپنے بٹھائے، اب کون ہمیں پیار سے پاس اپنے بٹھائے، یاد آتی شفقت یہ ہمیں آپ کی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. ایک آپ کے دم سے میرے جینے کا مزہ تھا، ایک آپ کے دم سے میرے جینے کا مزہ تھا، اب موت سے زمانے نے جی کھین لی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا. زخمی ہوا سر آپ کا اللہ کے گھر میں، زخمی ہوا سر آپ کا اللہ کے گھر میں، راس آپ کو آئی نہ فضا کوفے کی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی آ گئی بابا، زینب یتیمی کی گھڑی
लिया गरीबा
बिन बाप की कहलाती है बेटी तेरी बाबा
अब तक है ज़बानों पे अलमदार अलमदार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
अब तक है ज़बानों पे अलमदार अलमदार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
किस शान से बाबा का अलम तूने उठाया
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
मशकीज़ा छिदा लौट के तू घर नहीं आया
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
शेर जवाने पिसर हैदर करार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
शेर जवाने पिसर हैदर करार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
शेर जवाने पिसर हैदर करार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
अब तक है ज़बानों पे अलमदार अलमदार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
अब तक है ज़बानों पे अलमदार अलमदार
अब्बास अलमदार अब्बास अलमदार
السلام عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا خديجة الكبرى السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى وارث أمير المؤمنين السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي هنت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس بن أمير المؤمنين وخاسم بن الحسن مسلم بن عقيل وهاني بن روى وحبيب بن مظاهر وحر الشهيد الرياحي السلام عليكم جميعا شهداء كربلاء ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام عليكم أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان الأمان 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 من فتنة الزمان وشر الشيطان السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن السلام عليك يا مظهر الإيمان السلام عليك يا خليفة الرحمن، السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان، عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وذهولك وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة بن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آله في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه وردك دوعا وتمتعه